Hey everyone, the numbers are in for Watersound Origins for September 2021. You've probably heard there's a little bit of a shift going on in the real estate market, so I want to go deep into what's happening in the 30A market and also pricing for Watersound Origins. I'm Craig Duran with the Duran Group over at Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices. Let's get right to a few of these numbers. First of all, there are a couple of metrics that we track on a weekly basis. That I want to go through first. We track units for sale. We want to keep track of what's going on with supply. So how many active homes are for sale. We look at also weekly, we also look at the number of new listings that are coming to the market so we can try to get some sense of the pace that things are coming up for sale. That will tell us a lot about the market. We also track right here the number of new contracts that are being written on a week-to-week basis. Obviously, this is a great way to look into the future and see what our closings may look like 30, 45, 60 days from now. Obviously, if we see the number of new contracts being written spiking one way or the other, that's going to tell us what's happening with closings in the not too distant future. Also, of course, we're tracking the number of actual closings that are happening. That's going to tell us a lot about what's going on in the market. So right now, this tab I've got open is from May. Let's start with the supply. Let's talk about the number of units for sale. This is the entire 30A market. I want to start there and then get into Watersound Origins specifically. So if you look through this column, we're down in May. We were down year over year about 70% on supply, on inventory. So if you think about walking into the big house store and seven out of every 10 homes that were there just a few months earlier are now gone. Think about what that does in the mindset of a buyer. A buyer now feels very pressured to try to buy something, to try to make a clean offer, all those kinds of things. So not surprising. We've heard about how hot the market is. So knowing that inventory has been that tight is not surprising. Let's look at what it looks like in September. September, we're still in the red. We're down 32, 28, 28, 27, 31%. So still tight inventory, relatively speaking, year over year. However, think if you're a buyer watching inventory levels from May until now, it actually feels like you have a few more choices than you did back in May. So it's we're gonna watch that and check and see if that trend continues or not, because certainly if we get to the point where we're adding so much supply and we get oversaturated, that could put some real pressure on pricing. Another column I want to look at here, the number of new contracts being written. I'm back to May, and in the contracts being written in May were up 85%. We were up 2%. Then we were down 22%, and we were down 54%. When you look at September, a little bit of a different story. Down 49, down 32, down 34, down 35, down 67. Red across the board. We just aren't writing as many contracts year over year, even as compared to May for sure. So obviously we're going to have a few less closings come 6 or 8 weeks from now. That's another important trend to watch and see if this is part of a bigger trend or if this is just part of our normal seasonal things that would go on. The number of closings happening. Back in May, we had huge numbers back in May, up 225% from the year before, 178%, then 48%, then 239%, huge triple digits, huge numbers. If you think about that for a second, market conditions were very, very similar in May of 2021 to May the previous year, other than we were just coming out of COVID, so maybe there was some pent-up demand there. But being up that much more over May of the year before, those are big numbers that are differences. Let's look at September to see what's happening. Number of new contracts being written number of closings in September, down 30%, down 33%, up 7%, off 42%, off 76%. So as you can see, number of contracts being written is a little bit off. Number of closings are slowing down a little bit. So again, a couple of the metrics that we're watching to see if this is seasonal or if this is part of a bigger trend. When we look at the overall market, any of you guys have watched these videos before, know this is one of my favorite charts to look at. It tells us a lot about the trends in the market. The red line here, this again represents all of 30A. We'll get into Watersound Origins next. The red line represents the number of units for sale at any given point. The black line represents the number of closings. And then you guys all probably know, if you've seen this before, this months of inventory number is very important to understand. Here's the beginning of the pandemic right here. We topped out as far as our supply. Obviously, after a month or two of figuring out what's going on with the beginning of the pandemic, inventory levels spiked as high as they had been recently. But look at what's happened since then until May, June of this year. Every month, there were fewer and fewer homes available for sale. So all these things you heard about how hot the market is and multiple offers inside of 2 hours and things like that, this is a big part of it. Is there were fewer and fewer choices for buyers, and that momentum was really picking up. Look at what's happened the last few months. We're adding a little bit of supply to the market. It's not extreme. There are some other sub-markets in the Panhandle where from about April or May, this is dramatically moving up. The Panama City Beach condo market is almost back to pre-pandemic inventory levels, where right here on 38, not so much. Again, months of inventory is an important number to take away from this chart. Theoretically, 4 or 5 months of inventory represents a neutral market. The idea being that the entire process, so seller calls real estate agent gets marketing going, works through showings, negotiations, and finally gets a contract and gets through closing. Traditionally, 4 or 5 months to work through that process would be normal. If that whole process is trending faster than that, or we have a lower number, then obviously there's more demand, seller market territory, those kinds of things. Here's the beginning of the pandemic. Even at the beginning of the pandemic, the market was very, very good. We slowed down to 5 months of inventory, which is just about normal or neutral. And we've been most of this year less than 2 months of inventory across the board. We're a little slower than we were in March and April. Look at April, we were at 1.06 months of inventory. We're up to 1.67. Those don't sound like big numbers, but think about it. If we go from 1 to 2, that's twice as slow. So things are slowing a little. Has a lot to do with this right here. It's not enough yet, we don't think, to affect pricing as of yet, but it's an important trend to watch and see how long this is going to go. It's been a while since I've dug into the specific pricing and trends for Watersound Origins, so we're going to start doing that monthly for you, just so we can see what's going on. Here's the specific chart for Watersound Origins. The red line, again, represents the number of units for sale. The black line represents the number of closings. A couple things here. Origins very much working like the rest of the market. Lots of inventory beginning of the pandemic, a lot less now. The black line actually crosses over the red line. We have more sales than possible inventory, but that's because of a lot of the new construction in there and how that's put into the MLS system. Still very, very, very strong market in Watersound Origin. Look at the months of inventory number here. It hasn't been over 1 month of inventory all year long. I can't stress to you how extreme that is. I've been selling real estate for 18 years, and to go that long with under 1 month of inventory in a decent sized neighborhood is a signal of very, very, very strong market. We go into the last 2 months. I went back to August and September so we could pick up some sales and some activity to give you some guys some idea of what was going on. There have been 34 closings in that time period through the MLS system. We had a couple of rentals that actually made it out to the market. Most of the rentals don't even make it out to the market, but we had a couple of homes rented at $4,500 and $4,900 a month. And then we have sales anywhere from a low of $431,900, which is the only one in the fours, and then starting in the mid fives for low 2,300 square feet. And I'll just scroll through this kind of slowly so you can catch up some sales. Number of sales in the fives, about 8 sales in the fives, from the mid fives to about 6. Then we have a jump to 1 sale at 621, and then a pretty extreme jump, only 300 square foot difference or so, closing at 719. Another one at 742, 765. now easily into the 8s. Remember, these contracts will be all have been written, since a lot of this is new construction. A lot of these contracts will have been written at different times throughout the construction process, and of course the difference in the finished work. Few more sales for you. I want to get up just so you can see what the top end looks like. A few more sales in the 9s, and multiple sales over $1 million, of course. 3,000 square feet sold for $1,042,000, $1,050,000. 2 sales at $1,050,000, 119 for a resale of 2,500 square feet, 2,900 square feet. A couple sales at just over 1.2. 1,825 and 1,840 for a couple sales over 3,000 square feet, 1,875, and then a couple sales at over 2 million, 2,049,500 and 2.1. If you want to see any specifics on those, like to look at the interior photos and everything, just let me know and I can send you a link to any of this that I'm going through. I know I'm breezing through it pretty quick. When we look at what is for sale at the moment, anyone thinking of selling, here's where your potential competition will be. One of the smaller homes is for sale for $639,000, and then you have one for sale at $824,900. We've got one that was just reduced to $987,000. Another couple under $1 million at $995,000 and $995,900, and then 3 more for sale: 125, 1897. Oh, sorry, 4 for sale: 1995, 3,500 square feet, and then a larger one, 4,600 square feet at 3,150. A couple of things to keep in mind there. If we look at how many are under contract, there's something like 133 homes or something when you look at all of the different sections of Watersound Origins. So there's plenty of demand. 9 units available for sale is not a ton of units considering the demand that's out there. So still a very good time to be on the market. Still a good time, I think, to be pricing things aggressively. Again, if you want specific links to any of this, I can send that to you. Just let me know. And if you aren't signed up for our e-alert system, I know a lot of you, if you're watching this, you probably are. If you're not familiar, the e-alert system comes straight from our realtor system. In 18 years of selling real estate, this is the most accurate system I've seen for helping anyone that doesn't have a real estate license stay up to date with the market. The e-alert system will send you an email anytime a unit goes up for sale, goes under contract, changes price, or closes, and will give you the accurate sales price and sales date straight, again, from our realtor system. So it's not what your neighbor said they sold their house for. It's the actual real data. So it's an excellent way to get accurate information with what's going on in the neighborhood, or any neighborhood, really. We can set you up however you like. Certainly for just Watersound Origins, if you want to only keep up with certain square footages, we can do it that way. We can send it to you anytime something happens. You'll get an email, or if you don't want that much email, we can send it to you once a week or once per month, and all the information will just be batched together for you. So if you aren't signed up for that and you'd like to be, just shoot me a text at 850-527-0221 and just type in Watersound Origins in the message and I'll get you set up. Let me know the frequency and Watersound Origins, and we'll make sure you have that. What's nice about that system also is not only is it sending you the pricing information, but it actually sends you links so that you can click on and see the presentation, see the photos, read the descriptions of everything that's coming up. So if you're trying to keep up with the market, it's an excellent way to have, again, accurate information. Let me know if you'd like that, or any of this other, either any of these charts or any of these listings that you've seen in this video. We can get those out for you. Sorry, it's been a long day. Hopefully you found this helpful. Again, I'm Craig Duran with the Duran Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. If you have any questions, please reach out. In the meantime, we'll do a deep dive again on pricing and these trends once a month or so. So if you don't want the e-alerts, but you just want the video, we send that out to our list just once per month. I don't like email. Don't like spam for sure. So we don't send out a ton of email. It's just one email per month with an update. So if you'd like that, let me know. I'll get you on the list. Hope you'll stay safe and be well. And thanks for watching.